How did you get into the hair business? Like, what kind of sparked your interest in hair? Like, where did you get started?
Well, when I was in high school, we had a program where if you could, if you were good during your freshman and sophomore year, you could take up a trade during your junior and senior year. So, I took up cosmetology. My mom said let me go to college. She was a bully. She said I was going to school for physical therapy, so I said okay. But I knew I had to make money while in school, so my plan was to be a barber. So the school I went to while in high school, we learned mostly women's techniques. And I just stuck with it. So 18, I graduated and got my license.
Wow. So what state did this happen in? What school? Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we kind of got a feel now, an understanding of how you got into hair, but how did you get into makeup? Because a lot of your videos you do on the hair and the makeup, was that an easy transition?
Well, actually, when I first started doing makeup, I just had set up a photo shoot. I was gonna do this little model's makeup and hair, but the makeup artist, she stood me up. So I went to the drugstore and got some makeup, and I put up a YouTube video side by side, and just kind of went with that step by step, and I basically learned from there.
So is it safe to say when you say drugstore, you're referring to like a CVS, a Walgreens, Rite Aid?
Right.
Okay, great.
That kind of drugstore.
So we understand the hair now, we also understand the makeup. So how did you start making videos? Was that self-taught as well? How did you get into that?
Well, I just saw that was the thing to do. I saw a lot of people making videos on simple braids or 2 cornrows going back, and I was like, I can do a video. So I just started doing little, makeup and little hair videos, and I didn't think nothing of it until I posted this one video where I did this bob, the girl in this burgundy shirt, and it's her real hair, and that video went viral overnight, and I got 20,000 followers in 24 hours. I was like, I could be on something here. So I just kept it going, and the company started paying me to market their products and do hair videos for them, so that kind of hyped me even more.
So the plan originally was just to make videos because people had 2 cornrows.
Right.
And that led to transformational videos.
Right. I just wanted to get my own platform. I knew I was in Virginia. I knew I wasn't mainstream. I knew I was in LA. I was not in New York. I was not in Atlanta. So I knew I had to find a platform for myself. I just had to create something. Videos just came into play.
Okay. So my next question is, as you're going through this process and you're building this platform for yourself, and you're in Virginia and it's not a big city like New York or LA or Atlanta, as you mentioned, what challenges did you face as you built your own platform and built the business that you have now?
Location. I'm sorry, the wine is kicking in. Location is definitely key. Like I said, Virginia is nowhere near all the hype. So, not like when I would do these videos, people would hit me up and they'd be like, hey, where are you at? Like celebrities. And I would not be in LA, I would not be in Virginia, I'll be in Virginia. So location is definitely a prime thing that can hold you back sometimes.
Okay. So while you're in Virginia and these celebrities are hitting you up, when did you get to the point where like, you know what, I want to bring this guy to me? Right? When did how long did it take for the people to wanting to give up their time to come to Virginia or bring you to them? How long in the business was it?
It was like early on, it was easy to like get a flight. Like I wasn't really doing all the time stuff, but like some people hit me up and say, hey, I'm coming to Ohio and do my hair, celebrity there, or can you come to Atlanta and do my hair? They would be like that. But eventually, I got tired of hopping on flights all the time for, a day or so. So I just started my videos mainstream. Like I said, celebrity's a wig and be okay versus going to LA. But I do plan on moving there to heighten my career.
To LA?
To LA. Y'all coming with?
Yeah.
So I do have another question. It's very similar to that one. It's not what challenges you face, but it's more so about being a male in a female dominant industry. Did you face any challenges or obstacles because you're a male?
I don't really think so. I don't think so. I think just like anybody, competition's competition. You know, I don't think that if anything, I probably face more trauma from males in the industry versus, you know, females. But even still, it wasn't like nothing to get upset about, just petty stuff. So yeah, I won't ask no questions about that. I won't answer those questions.
Okay. So I do have another question. So we, again, just to recap, we understand how you got to hair, how you got to makeup, what inspired the videos, and how you had challenges in Virginia. And you mentioned earlier you knew you had something when you jumped 20,000 followers, right? But now you're at over 1 million followers.
More or less.
Right. So what was the plan, or how did you get there? How did you get your following to grow? How did you actually build the platform once it actually got going?
It was just the videos. Staying persistent and consistent, constantly trying to drop new stuff or innovative stuff, and allowing companies to repost my stuff. That was the main thing. People who see my work, they want to repost it for free. And then companies will also partner with me. They'll take my videos and they'll post it on the Shaver, which also is like, you know, double following. So constantly posting, constantly trying to find new muses and new things to do. That definitely had my following grow.
So, question, right? You just said a word that I think is really interesting, muse. So like an artist gets inspired. So do the women that you service or the models you use in your videos, does every individual model inspire you in a different way?
Yeah, I think all of them I choose are already naturally beautiful. I just put like a little bit of makeup on them and just enhance them a little bit. So of course, I'll try to coordinate the look with the outfit, with their skin tone, with, you know, all that stuff. So that definitely comes into play every time.
So you're not just doing the hair and the makeup, you're also picking the outfits?
Yeah, y'all know that was a stylist.
No, we didn't know that.
Yeah, I picked the outfits. I buy those outfits. I dress them. Or if not, tell them, let me see a picture of your wardrobe. And that's me photos. I say, bring this top, bring these bottoms. See, I style them too. Look out for Anthony Cut's wardrobe coming soon.
So, what advice, because I'm not sure everyone know this, but I know the answer to the question. You've been doing hair now 10 years, right? So, what advice would you give your younger self? A 19-year-old Anthony, who mom wants him to go to physical therapy, school for physical therapy.
Run away from home and never go to college. Because I feel like college, those 2 years, I could have been even more. Not me, go to school, sorry. I'm saying if I was me, because, you know, I was in school and I knew my heart wasn't in it. So it was like for that year or two, it was like I was doing the work, but I knew I wasn't. So that was what I wanted to be. And they tell you, if you're in college, don't get a real job. And I was seeing that money come in, so it was like very discouraging to go to school every day. But I would say, you know, just if it's not what you don't want, then don't do it. Focus mainstream on what you want. Even if you want to be a stripper. Just kidding, don't be a stripper. But I'm saying, like, if I was to still be in college and force my mom, she said, go to school, go to school. I mean, it was like, you're not going to be a dancer, you're not going to do it here. You're not going to be a barber, you're going to go to school. And it was all the time, making me do it. I just quit. And I didn't tell her. And then when she was like, you stopped going to school, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, I did. And then she was like, okay, she started laughing. But what's funny is before I was gonna go to hair school, my mom was like, I'm not paying for your hair, kid. I'm not doing nothing. You're not going to hair school, you better sign up for, you know, the nursing or something like that, but not hair. And then, because I was kind of a good kid still, she didn't pay for my hair kit. So she knew, like, he gonna do something with this, obviously. He's not gonna take no for an answer. So I might as well just buy the kit. But she, even though she was a bully, she's still always been a supporter, you know, she's one of the best. But yeah.
So I was trying to wrap up, but then you gave me a few more gems, right?
Okay.
You mentioned a barber, you mentioned dancing. Are these habits or things, what are some of the things you actually did?
Well, to be honest, I was teaching dance before here. I taught dance.
So you taught dance?
I taught dance.
Wow.
And I taught at a college, ECSU.
Okay.
So I taught dance. And actually, before I went to hair school, I remember I signed up for hair school, and that same year I signed up for, my principal came to me and said, Anthony, why would you not sign up for dance at the governor's school? He was like really pissed about that. But I just didn't, I mean, dance was something I could do, but it wasn't like a passion I had. It was something that came natural and easy to me.
Is there a certain kind of dance, or
I did
just
hip hop and like a little bit of jazz.
okay? And you mentioned being a barber. You were a barber before? Or?
No, I was going to school to be a barber.
Okay.
But we were mostly women's techniques, so I just stuck with it.
Wow. And this is my last question for you, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women, people who are watching, that may want to ask this question, even men. What advice would you give a stylist or person who wants to be a stylist, or that person who's not in college at the moment, but they're stuck at their job, afraid to chase their dreams or go after the beauty industry and take it by storm? What would you say to them to get started?
So just do it. I mean, you have to start somewhere. And obviously, I mean, it's an abundance now, but I would say you have to be passionate. You can't be hot or cold. You have to be consistently hot. You can't be like, I want to do hair today, and tomorrow I want to work McDonald's. You have to make you mad. You can't be like hot and cold. You have to be consistent, patient, because hair is not something you just do. Even dealing with clients, that's a whole other aspect. So, people person and patient and the actual passionate to do hair is a requirement.
So, what is your question?
Well, I'm pretty sure you've been asked this a bunch of times, but who is the first famous person's hair that you've done?
Hold on, before you answer that, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you restate your question and say your name?
My name's Kiana. Hi, everybody. And I just wanted to know, who was the first famous person's hair that you've done ever?
The first famous was probably, well, at the time, it was like some kind of filming going on. And I was excited to get a call from Natalie Nunn. I was like, really just coming up. You know who Natalie Nunn is?
Yes.
From Bangers Club. Shit, I was like, oh, snap. Natalie just hit me up. I thought I was doing something. I was like, man, this car, I'm driving in Maryland, but she's my first person. It took a day or two I spent. And then other Bangers Club, Christina, I don't know, Crazy Jers. You guys know her, Christina Salgado, something like that? Yeah, that was my second, I guess, celebrity.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Did anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, sure. Elliott.
So, when you're not doing hair, what do you do in your spare time?
My kids, emails, wigs, travel, this. I travel and I work. I do class, I do one-on-one lessons. I like long walks from the beach in the Scorpio. But that's pretty much it, though. That's pretty much it.
Not a loud question.
Does anybody else, any owners have any other questions?
Hi, I'm young. Do you have any tips on building your clientele, not just through social media, but face to face?
I would say every time you do a client's hair, give them 5 business cards. Because that means, oh girl, I like your hair. Here's a card. I like it. So it's easy to say, oh, Sasha's in my hair, but when you pass that card out, it's official. Numbers there, your name is there, and probably your face too. So definitely give every client 5 cards. What I always do is I would say, hey, you like your hair? When you post that picture, tag me, hashtag the Anthony effect, and let people know, who did your hair. Your followers grow and your clientele grow.
Okay.
Any other audience questions? Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Kizzy, and I know you touched on a little bit about how you got started and things, but did you do hair when you were younger? And at what point did you feel, or you knew that it was actually a gift?
Well, I've always been good with my hands. I was an artist too, so I forgot that. My bad. I was an artist, so I was good with my hands. So, actually, when I first started hair school, I couldn't even do a ponytail. I'm talking about, give me like 10 minutes for a ponytail. I was struggling, but my teachers were also they worked with me. I got better. Start roller sets and do fingers, all this stuff. So they constantly say, Anthony, I know you want to be a barber, but you're really good at doing women's hair. Women love for men to do their hair. You should think about it. So for 2 years, they told me that, 2 years straight. And I think they kind of wore me down because I easily went into doing hair. I didn't know until after I graduated and I went to a hair cuttery and I started working with the team and making money, and I started doing classes I really, really got a passion for.
So at this time, we're going to ask social media if they have any questions, and then come back to the audience questions. Is that okay for everyone? All right. You have a question?
Okay. Live that, love that hair. They wanted to know, how did you build your clientele, which you touched upon. Also, how did you get your business up and running, and how long did it take you?
Well, it's always good to have a team for one. My main problem when I first started was being so single-handed. Like, I can do it myself, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And at one point, I was working 7 days a week, and I wasn't telling no clients no. Like, I would be like having 6 up front, and I'm like sweating in the back working with 2 clients. So I eventually had to take into heed that I need an assistant, and I need a manager. That's the main thing. You need help. You cannot do that by yourself. Even still, I try to do it myself. But you need, I'm telling you, you need help. It's crucial. I don't care how good you are, you need help. You cannot do all your own. So what I did was, a manager came to me, I hired a manager. He was a tremendous help. Even as far as answering emails, or even being the bad guy. He would know. Like, even like, I came to the point where I was at an event, and they would want to do extra stuff that I didn't want to, and try to get extra free stuff. He would say, let me be the bad guy. Because I'd be like, okay, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Even with clients. I look at the client, what the heck, I can't say no. So even that goes a long way as far as help. But like I said earlier, constantly passing out your cards, even doing, a little free promo. You see a girl with a cute face, tell her, hey, I'm trying to be my clientele, come to my salon, let me do your hair and makeup, take a picture and post it. You post it also. If you work in the mall, pass the cards out, the same thing. You want to make sure you constantly build your clientele and your follow Instagram. It's not about followers, it's about having a market to appeal to. Followers mean nothing, but once you get that platform you can sell stuff, that's how you get your revenue. Is that good?
Yes. One more question.
That was pretty good too. That's really good too.
I thought that was pretty good too.
Outside of schooling, did you take a lot of different classes?
To be honest, I didn't take a lot of different classes, but I am a super stalker. Like, I will see people on Instagram, and I'm like, let me watch the video 50 times to see what they did. Or I go on YouTube and look up other artists, or like even people think YouTube is like, for the birds, but YouTube has a lot of knowledge. Even as far as looking up different talents, like different celebrity artists. You might not find their work, but you can find different pieces of their techniques. You know what I mean? And put it together. So constantly research. Every day I get in bed, I'm on YouTube. I'm on somebody's page looking at something and constantly refreshing. This industry is ever changing. Frontals just got popping like a year ago, and it's still popular. So you have to constantly change with the time. And if you're left out of the loop, if you find yourself 50 years old, come out of school to be a PO or a nurse, something like that, and you don't waste your time, after so many years, come back to school at 50 because you didn't really commit to doing hair.
Do we have any Instagram questions here?
Just one. Red Passion IW says, plus size models are starting to blossom in the industry. So will we be able to get more videos of you showcasing your talent on plus size models?
I've done thick girls before. I don't think you can see their whole body, and you haven't seen them. But yes, I love plus size girls. I love all women. So I'm pretty sure you will see some plus size models. Tell her to send me a DM. I'm pretty sure she's probably one of them. Send me a DM and we will chat it up.
Any other social media questions?
No more at the moment.
All
Just
right.
live news.
Does the audience have any questions? No other questions?
Y'all seem so shy. No questions at all? Let's get to look at me, man.
He said, ask him anything.
One of my questions is, do you have any tips on like maintaining leave out and natural hair?
I would say the less heat the better, of course, but when you do apply heat, I use protectants. And on top of that, do protective styling at night, pin curl it or wrap it up. And so you can avoid having to apply heat every day, wear a shower up in the shower. Braid your leave out up if you have to. Just don't sleep on that knee. Because you have leave out back here, and your natural especially, it tends to get dry and it breaks off really quick. So if you're wearing these scarves and necklaces, all that stuff can actually cause breakage back here. So keeping it braided up or moisturized is definitely better. And even though you're natural, it does not mean you need 40, 50 degrees of heat. Sometimes 410 is still good. Sometimes 400 is still good. Natural does not mean 450 degrees. Okay, don't put grease on your hair. I can go on with this, but I won't. Don't be, if you're sizzling your hair, it means you're burning it. If you hear a psst, you're burning your hair. Word to the wise. So if anything, apply your product, let it sit, and then don't apply it then. Okay?
Do that sound one more time?
Any more questions?
I just had a question, just to touch base on, you saying that you definitely couldn't do it by yourself, you really needed help. At what point did you know, like, all right, I'm way in over my head, I need a team?
When I was at work one day and I had colleagues who had their own clients, they would ask me, do I need help? That's how I knew I needed an assistant. Yeah, they definitely did it for me.
So you were in the salon and they saw you struggling.
Right. So my back was like Niagara Falls, I was like sweating so hard. Yeah, because when you're working like that, you're always nervous because they're watching and waiting and you're already running behind. And that's like 10 times the pressure, but yeah.
When you say watching and waiting, you're referring to the clients or the stylists? Okay.
They're watching like, he's looking forever.
Oh, yeah.
Then they always get your so pleasant. But when they're sitting there, they're pretty pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was definitely a wake-up call for me.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Doreen. So for someone trying to get into the industry, I personally am trying to find a good hair vendor. So what tips can you give me in kind of sifting out the really not so good ones and hopefully finding a really good one who I can work with?
Well, for the most part, most wholesale manufacturers, they are foreign. So the English might be really bad, which is a major factor. Usually the really good ones, they have a good English translator. That's really a good key, Also, when you find them, you want to make sure your wefts are double stitched and all that stuff. And you want to test your bundles. You know what kind of grade you go with. But if you go with, if you take that bundle and you smooth it out and you turn it up.
A salon of your own, or do you just travel to do hair?
I just travel. Just travel and do hair.
Yes.
Okay, so you were talking about building your team. How did you go about building your team, especially when you're trying to find trustworthy people because you want people to be on your side?
It's like vibes. You know who's for you. You can pretty much tell who's genuine. My manager, he just called me out the blue. He was like, hey, do you need a manager? I was like, yeah. And that's how that happens.
That's wrong.
Right?
Yeah. And even then, I wasn't even thinking I need a manager. I was just thinking, I can do this for myself. I don't need nobody. Ask for emails all day and then try to do wigs to their clients. Can be overwhelming, so I would say the manager definitely changed everything.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Jada. So wigs are trending right now, right? So do you prefer to make your own wigs or find like a good vendor and then customize the wig?
I prefer customizing because it saves so much time. Clients who request a certain texture, bones, all that stuff, yeah, but I prefer taking what's already been manufacturally made and then coloring myself. It saves so much time and money, I think. Because it's all about how fast you get it in, done, and out. You gotta make the wig and sew it, and then color it and all that. It's extra time. Days, even.
How long do they last?
Wigs?
Yes.
They can last anywhere from 2 years plus, depending on your maintenance, how you take care, how you apply it, if you're doing the right techniques to remove it and whatnot too.
I have a social media question. What advice can you give a future makeup artist looking to market him or herself properly?
Videos. And I think the main thing is don't just do makeup on yourself and post it every day. I think it's old quick. People like to see different faces. I think a lot of makeup artists always do the same their same face every day. They post different makeup look on their eyes, but it's still your same face. When you take different people and do before and after photos and videos, that's a lot easier, a lot better for marketing and for business. But also posting frequently and fluent. And a lot of good content is definitely a big deal.
Any other questions? No? All right, so I have one last question for you. Because I have some knowledge, and I just wanted, because we didn't talk about it earlier, what is the process? How long does it take to create an Anthony Cuts
Jesus
video?
Christ.
From the very beginning, from planning the look, the type of hair you're going to use, how many hours or how many days go into that?
Well, it starts with finding a model. You gotta find a model who has, if I'm doing a frontal, has a big forehead or a workable forehead. Then you have workable forehead. And then you have to, set it up, get them to come out and have to go with them and see what kind of wardrobe they already have existing, so you know what you have to buy to make the look work. And then once you get there, to set up the equipment, set the lighting and whatnot, set your camera and stuff up, your makeup and all that stuff up. Filming is about maybe, could be anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, depending on what we're doing, makeup and hair, plus I do a photo shoot, plus I do all the outtakes, the different outfit changes. Then the next day is editing, which is like another 6 to 12 hours. So it's definitely a 2-day process, maybe 3 sometimes.
So editing would take 6 to 12 hours?
It's also editing the video, yeah.
Wow.
You have to take those little pieces and try to move them in the right position, in the right spot, so that it flows. You can't take a video and just put piece. You gotta move every spot around so it flows. It kind of like tells a story. You have to make them want to watch the whole thing for a whole minute.
You got a lot of, like you said earlier, you're good with your hands. You got a lot of good movement. One last question.
Another question online. What inspires you more, doing hair or makeup?
Makeup is newer to me, and everybody's face is different. So I feel like makeup is always, inspirational. And then taking somebody's face and even making them feel different about themselves, or like a new look, that's always a lot more fun to me. Right now.
So on that note, we're pretty much wrap up, unless anyone in the audience has any more questions.
I do.
Yes.
Did you ever reach out to a celebrity to do their hair, or did they always come to you? And if you had, were you nervous?
They always reach out to me. Like I said, I hit BET time or BET weekend, like this year. I was so pissed that I was not in LA because everybody was like, "Can you do my hair? Where are you at?" But no one knows for real I'm in Virginia.
Yeah.
They think I'm in Atlanta or LA, but no one knows I'm in Virginia. So they'll think I'm in LA and they can cut to do my hair. And I'm like, "Oh, nah, in Virginia." Sorry.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for your time. Again, we're at the House of Bundles, and that's pretty much it. I guess House of Bundles, Anthony Cuts interview, take 1. Look forward to part 2. Good night.